Florida State got a commitment from a four-star linebacker, Isaiah Williams. This is the second time he's been committed to the Noles. He is the number one recruit, or the number one linebacker recruit per Rivals. His timeline of recruitment has been one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. I believe at one time he was committed to Syracuse, decommitted, committed to FSU. That's not that strange. Like, that happened to his junior year. Like, that's not really weird. That's fine. Decommitted from Florida State, ended up committing to Florida. Decommitted from Florida, ended up committing to Ole Miss. And then on Saturday, or maybe Friday or Saturday at like 9 a.m. I mean, I've never seen a commitment so early in my life. I hadn't even finished my first cup of coffee yet. He commits to Florida State now for the second time. And the waiting game comes as we wonder, will he end up signing with the Noles? Richie, all right, first of all, I think he's a good player, right? There's no doubt about that. He's number one rated linebacker recruit for Rival. Like, he's good. This is ridiculous, and it shocks me that Florida State was not even the only school that was like, I'm not going to crap on Florida State staff here. Florida desperately wanted him back. I saw last week the Florida insiders that work for, it was either On3 or 247, were writing articles about how Florida was still trying to flip him and how they were still trying to get him in their class. One of those sites, I don't remember which one, put him in their dream recruiting finish article, right? Like, hey, if everything goes right for the Gators, here's what our recruiting class will look like. So, man, it's not just Florida. It's not just Florida State. Miami was still involved. Obviously, Ole Miss is trying to keep him in the fold, and other programs too. I don't know that Ohio State and the Georgias and stuff like that, but I mean, you're talking the number one linebacker in the country. This kid was still wanted, and despite as crazy of a recruitment as he's had, multiple programs still wanted him. I do think it's a win for Florida State. It could be a temporary win because I'm not confident he signs here. But anyway, all that said, I've rambled for long enough. The most insane recruitment that I can remember, I can't remember anything like this. And I'll just shut up and let you talk, and then we'll go. I'll talk more in a minute.
I don't want him. Simple as that.
She's out all the way.
No, it's just, it's frustrating when you see a kid that has committed to so many schools. And I know I sound like a hypocrite because Dalvin Cook is one of my favorite running backs ever. He was committed to Clemson. He was committed to Florida, and then ended up signing with Florida State. But at the same time, like, it's not worth the headache if you're a coaching staff. Like, he must be extremely good if all these schools know his history of committing to multiple schools on and on and on again, and then end up picking a school. I would not be shocked one bit if he did not end up in Florida State's class. Like, I cannot get excited. I know he's the number one linebacker in the country. That's a big deal. And he, from everything I've read, he's a very, very good linebacker. But I don't want him. Because what happens? He comes here and maybe he struggles his first year in getting used to college and whatnot. And then out of nowhere, what is he going to transfer for his sophomore season and then transfer out again from wherever he went to for his junior season? I don't know. Like, I hope Mike and the coaching staff knows what they're doing here, and I hope I'm wrong, but my personal opinion is I do not want him at Florida State.
I'll get right back to the video, but if you are feeling drained or not yourself lately, low testosterone could be why. Emerald Medical's hormone replacement therapy can bring back your energy. Use our code DFNS for a free consultation and savings on your journey to feeling like the new you. Chris, my buddy that owns Emerald Medical, is a college football and FSU fanatic, just like you and I are, and he will offer personalized care and trusted service for you. Give them a call today, 772-307-9840, or go to emeraldhrt.com. Use code DFNS for your free consultation and feel like the real you again. Yeah, I don't know that I go that far. I'm glad we agreed on all the record stuff so that I could disagree with you here. I do think you take him. I mean, you're in such a desperate spot that you've got to at least take a flyer, right? Like, you've got to take some chances. And so, like, Florida State doing that is like, that would be my take overall. Like, he's worth I saw somebody comment, like, his talent is probably worth the headache because recruiting at that position has been so atrocious.
Yeah.
That you've got to, I mean, say he does transfer out, you just roll the next 3-star, 3-name 5'10" guy out there that you recruited, like what Randy Special or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know that I'll go that far, but I do think this is hilarious. And I agree with you. it won't shock me at all. Now, I actually do. Call me a sucker. I actually do think he ends up in Florida State's class just due to some other factors and things I've heard. But I mean, I'm with you. I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't. And we didn't even do a video for this, right? Like I didn't do a pre-record or a commit video because like I'm not celebrating this one. But I do think there's a decent chance he ends up in the class. However, I'm right on with you on the whole idea of transferring. Like this kid, and I hope he doesn't, right? I hope he comes in here and balls out and in 3.5 years goes to the NFL and plays his clip back and says, Richie, you're an idiot. You know, like, great. I would love for that to happen. But yeah, if things don't go well, this screams transfer, after 6 months of being on campus. So we'll see. Again, not one that I'm super over the moon about. But again, the most ridiculous, recruiting has never moved the needle for me in a massive way. I'm more of a, man, I want to know what the roster is and I want to know what things look like on Saturday. And we talk about recruiting because so many people on the channel care about it, but recruiting has never moved the needle for me in a huge, huge way. I remember getting really excited on signing day only, and then that being it, right? Because so many guys used to commit on that day or just before then. But yeah, I mean, this just kind of shows, and now not every recruitment is as ridiculous as this one is, but it does kind of show how ridiculous recruiting has gotten in a lot of ways. And this one takes the cake. So Florida State, I mean, just leading the country again and setting records for the amount of times that kids are committing. I tweeted out that Hayes Fawcett needs a pay bump or something for every time he has to make this kid a new edit.
I saw that.
Which is ridiculous. I wish likes were, well, I guess they wouldn't happen, but I was gonna say, I wish likes were still public on Twitter because I wish people could see it, but then maybe people wouldn't like it if they were. I wish people could see like all the people that you wouldn't think would think that was funny were definitely in support of that.
Yeah.
Troll. But again, maybe they wouldn't have liked it if likes were public at this point. So
yeah, I totally hope he comes to Florida State and makes a huge impact, spends 3 years and goes to the league as a first round draft pick. But and maybe it's not fair because I've never been in that situation, neither of you, TJ, where, you're an elite talent at the high school level and you have so many options where it's hard to make up your mind. And if you don't have direction, I'm not saying he doesn't, but if you do not have direction, it can be really hard to figure out. So I don't want to be too harsh on him, but for me personally, and again, it's okay for us to disagree every now and then. I'm just not excited about him. Even though it's crazy for me to say I'm not excited about the best linebacker in the country committing to Florida State.
Which is a ridiculous thing to say, but hey, I guess it happens to the best of us. So